Hey Scrappers, it's Vanessa here, and I just wanted to record a quick sort of roundup video of my In the Mood stash kit that I put together for February. And I definitely would not call this kit killed, but that really wasn't my purpose. I just really wanted to put a stash kit together and use it for the month and see how much I could create from that kit. And I'm happy with what I got done. I put together about 6 layouts total, which I'll show, and there is a process video for each one on my channel, so you can look back and see any of the processes for those layouts. Apart from that, I cut into all the paper except for I think 2 6x6 paper, 2 6x6 pieces of paper, so I call that pretty good. At this point, having used it for the month of February, I am definitely, I won't say bored, but tired of seeing the same supplies over and over again, and so I'm ready to put a new kit together for March, and I will put that together and film the video and have it up before March so that you can see what my supplies are that I pulled, again, from my stash, and how I went about pulling that, for what I plan to use in the month of March. So I hopefully will get that done here and get it posted before the beginning of March. So for what I have left, I definitely pulled a lot for this kit. So like I said, it's not used completely. These were the thickers that I pulled. I think I ended up using some from all of them except for this pink one. I used some, or at least something out of each one of them except for, like I said, that pink one. So these will go back into my stash. I may incorporate some of these into the next kit that I put together, but we'll see. I didn't use any from this label sheet, but that's easy enough to keep and use again. This is what I have left for papers. These are the 2 6x6 that I did not end up cutting anything out from, so those I will just put back into my stash. And now these are all the scraps. So these are the other 6x6. This was a part of a 12x12 paper that had already been cut up from my scraps. I have this little piece of October Afternoon left. I have a branding strip, some more of that floral, just a whole lot of little pieces. Some of the really small pieces I will just probably throw away, and then some of these bigger pieces I will likely put back into my scrap piles. I sort by color, so I will just go through and put these in by color, and that way I can use them again in the future. So I have, these are my bigger pieces, this basic gray paper. I had fussy cut the florals from this, so I still have some of that left. Some of that purple Heidi Swap paper, some of the crepe paper, Craft Market, I think this was. Some of that left, and then some of this blue and this pink, and then this blue and white paper, which actually, yes, I did use this side of it, but I actually think in the future I might fussy cut these out and use them as embellishments as opposed to using this paper for layering or anything like that. So we'll see. So those will go into my stash. Now, from an embellishment standpoint, again, of course, I have washi left over. That seems to last forever. I still have some of my pom-pom trim. I used it on one layout. I still have, of course, my gelato. I have a little bit of twine that I didn't use. For my blue embellishments, I used quite a bit, but again, I had pulled quite a bit. I like to have a lot of choices, so there's a little bit left in here, which I will, again, I sort most of my embellishments as well by color, especially when it's older stuff in my stash. Newer stuff I try to keep together for at least a little while, and then once I've made some things with it, I separate it out and put it by color. So this will go in with the rest of my blue embellishments. I had made this in one of my process videos you would have seen. I had made this. I didn't use it on a layout. I'll probably keep it and maybe use it in a future project. I have one doily left that I pulled. My pink embellishments. Now this one looks more full, but it actually has a lot of the fussy cut flowers that I didn't use from my other layout in it, so that has added to what's in this package. But again, I did use quite a bit. I had a lot of chipboard that was in here. I used a lot of chipboard on one of my layouts, so I'm glad to get as much of it used up as I did. And we'll see, again, what I pull for my next kit. Maybe some of it will come from these as well. My turquoise, very little of this one left. I probably used this one the most of what I pulled. I still have sequins because they seem to last forever. My wood veneer, I think on almost every layout I had wood veneer, but again, I pulled a lot, so I definitely have a lot left to use from just what I pulled for this kit. I have noticed that for me, I really like wood veneer, like little pieces of wood veneer. I like little stars, little hearts. So I find a lot of this bigger pieces, like this big word that says family, and some of the bigger pieces, I find it really hard to use those. So we'll see how I go future-wise. These were the Heidi Swap embellishments or ephemera that you could color yourself. I used a couple pieces of this, but this was like a full package, so there's tons left. I did use some of this tissue paper, but again, still lots of that. I did use some of this tissue, and there's still some of that left. These gold hearts, I used a couple of them on a layout, and again, I still have a few left to kill in order to get rid of this package. This, I think I will carry over into my next kit for March, and I really hope to get these gone. I have some vellum. I have a couple of these little arrows left. I did not use, unfortunately, any of these rub-ons. I am thinking with these that I might actually just rub them onto a white piece of paper and cut them out and use them as ephemera pieces. I think that might make it easier for me to actually use them. And because they are so old, I am thinking that there's a good chance that these are not even going to rub off properly. So I might just do that and then incorporate them into my color packages for my ephemera and just use them that way. So we'll see. I'll let you know how that goes if I end up doing that. I had pulled this stencil. That'll go in with my stencils. These small little letters, I did use a few of them. Again, these enamel shapes, I used a couple of these on my layouts. Enamel dots, I did use some of these. Most of the tags, I won't say most, a couple of the tags I did use. I used, I think, one Project Life card. I did not use any of these tiny words. These turquoise stickers, I used some from this one. I don't think I ended up using any from this one, but I did use at least one word from this set of Heidi Swap, which I have two because I was running low. These pink letter stickers I did not use. More Project Life cards that I pulled and I didn't end up using. I did use a couple of these word tile stickers, so it was nice to get a couple of those. I really would like to get those used up. I've had them forever. These enamel dots I did not actually use. I am so close to being done with this Dear Lizzie puffy sticker sheet that I definitely think I'm carrying these over into March, and I am going to get these two used so that this can be done. This was like the closest thing I got to being finished. Enamel dots, again, I used some of those. Here's another one of those Dear Lizzie puffy sticker sheets. These were all hearts. I have almost killed this. We'll see if I move this forward, at least with this next kit, but they're almost gone. I used a few of these Tim Holtz tiny words. These blue stickers, these letter stickers, I had already used some off of this one, and this one I did not end up using at all on this kit. These stickers, I believe I used one of these. It was the ampersand, but that was it from this. And again, from these tiny word stickers, I don't believe I used any on any of my layouts. So, like I said, not killed, but I definitely feel good that I basically, on all of my layouts, the only thing I added, which I said I was going to, was solid colored cardstock, mixed media supplies, stamps, and, ink any of that sort of stuff that I said I was going to pull in that wasn't in the original kit that I showed. Apart from that, I only used for the month of February what I pulled for this kit. So I feel good that I didn't go into my stash for anything else, and that I kept to what I used for this kit. So like I said, I had pulled a lot, so I wasn't expecting to kill this kit, but it definitely feels good to get at least some of the items that I pulled out of my stash and onto layouts. So I'm just going to put this to the side, and I will pull in the layouts. And like I said, all of these have process videos. They aren't in a specific order. So if you want to see any of the processes for these, you can go back on my channel and there will be a video for each one. So this one I think was one of my favorites that I created for the month. It definitely was the one that had probably the most chipboard and some puffy stickers and lots of, you know, layering and embellishing on this one. So I was really happy about this one. This was another one that I created. This one had the banners that were in the mood board that I created, which I will, at the end of this video, put the mood board just so you can be reminded if you didn't watch the In the Mood original first video that showed the kit and the mood board. You can see that. For this layout, the color obviously was inspired from the mood board, but I took the banner inspiration from one of the pictures that was in the mood board. On this one, I definitely took the inspiration of the hearts, and obviously the colors and the floral aspects were all sort of taken, and the butterfly as well, all were kind of taken from aspects of that mood board. This one here was my probably most mixed media related video or layout. This one I took my inspiration from the circle paint lids that were on the mood board, and so I really like how this one turned out. It was fun to do the mixed media, and I did some little strips for my journaling. I like when I can incorporate these strips. I think it's fun to do that with my journaling. This next one is where I use my pom-pom trim. I have some mixed media in the background. This one definitely was taking the inspiration from a lot of the florals that were throughout the mood board, as well as the hearts, and the trim for the added texture that it gave, which was also inspired from the chair that was in the mood board. This layout was definitely inspired by the mood board. Had a triangle or sort of a geometric picture, and it had sort of triangles and like sky in the background. This was definitely, I took inspiration from that particular piece with the geometric layout of this one with the triangle patterns at the bottom. And so I really think this one, I like how this one turned out. It was fun. And then lastly, this one again with the circles, obviously the colors. This one is probably the one that I would say has some texture and the circle, but no, this one does not have any florals, which there was a lot of those in the mood board. So this one definitely took from the texture and the circular aspects of that mood board. So all in all, those were the 6 layouts that I created, and I'm pretty pleased with getting 6 layouts done in the month with that one kit and not pulling anything from my stash. So I am going to go now and work on putting together my kit for March and getting the video created for that so you can see what I plan to use. I will tell you that I do plan to base the kit that I make to use for March off of a 6x6 paper pad. I have tons of 6x6 paper pads, and I thought it would be fun to take some stash and an old 6x6 paper pad and base a kit off of that paper pad and use that for the month. So I will go and do that now, and I will talk to you guys all later. Bye-bye.